Coming up in this week's episode.
If they'd have had the sort courses like that could have made PE fun, but PE was never destined to be fun.
No, I think they tried their best, didn't they, by having angry teachers. That always helped.
Pity the poor child who forgot their PE kit on PE day.
Yeah.
Because you still doing the PE.
Oh, yeah.
In your pants,
In your
mate.
pants. Or, if you're really lucky, go to Lost Property and find some. I always love a country drive out on a Sunday. And I think what I've come out for is a lovely country ride watching some man's sweaty arse for the next 4 miles because I can't get past him because he's cycling on this razor blade saddle. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to look at this anymore.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
It might have been a week, James, but I'm still trying to pick bits of toffee out of my teeth.
I've still got some here. I'm going to keep eating it. But that was food, wasn't it? It lasted forever, and it should have done as well. This is very, very chewy. I'm hoping I can just see my dentist some point very soon.
Chewy toffee from the mystery lunchbox surprise. I hope you got something
episode.
slightly less chewy this time.
I've timed it perfectly.
Perfect. So we're starting off with, ironically, again, a couple of episodes about physical education and being fit and healthy. Both of us still scoffing away on the toffee. But it's back to the school days. Of sort of going to school, the apparatus coming off the wall, climbing up the weird... You never see ropes like that in real life, do you? Like the big, thick... I'm doing this again, apologies.
Yes.
But the big, thick ropes
that
look like they should be on some kind of pirate ship from the 1700s.
Yeah, I think that's where they came from. So I think that they were thinking, well, if ever we're in some sort of meltdown of civilization, we're going to have ropes back like this on the cells. These kids need to be bloody ready.
Just ready to go to war.
I'm sure that they were just prepping us, just in case the world fell apart. We're like, you're going to have to jump over things that we call horses. That don't look like horses. You're going to have to bounce on this trampoline, and you're going to have to climb through this hole and up to the ceiling for some reason.
Sadly, now more than ever, we need to be prepared for a major war. And now, sadly more than ever, none of us are even slightly even able to climb. Even I could never get to the top of a rope, but I can't imagine there are many kids now that could get to the top of the rope.
I'm hoping that any war that we're in will be online.
It's cyber war, yes.
Yes, and then we'll be fucking sorted. Everyone's going to die. It'll be great. But we won't have 3 lives, unfortunately.
No, just the one.
It will be literally game over.
on that cheery thought.
I tell you what. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks.
Clip number 1. I'm going to give you a clip.
Go on.
You want to do
I want to give you something.
Give me something.
Because obviously this is the bag I used to take in for my PE, a Midland Bank school bag, which I remembered before I got it out as being massive. A massive holdall, and I got it out and it was like that, and I thought, but it was massive
compared to you at the size. So how old would you have been at that?
6, 7.
Is there anything in it?
Yes. Well, there's lots of the other Midland Bank things in it.
Okay.
But what's on top is the most important thing for you to take out. That is new, so you can. But we all had these, and they still sell them, except they're Velcro, not laces. But look at the plimsolls there; just ridiculous.
Just no support, no
more than they used
sponginess.
to. They never used to have the sides to them. They just had a flat bit of something underneath to stop your feet coming through the shoe.
But there was no heel.
No, nothing.
No heel. No. This little bit at the bottom was just like solid.
Yeah, there wasn't grips and stuff.
No, it was just...
And it was laces and plimsolls. I don't know. It was the irony of having the word soul in them. Because it didn't really seem to have anything. You jump off of a huge high bit of racking on the side of the school hall, and the vibration would go right through to your
spine. Yeah.
And why we weren't allowed... I mean, we all had to wear plimsolls.
Yes.
Black plimsolls. And then when you got a bit older, you could have some green flash or some Gola. And the cool kid would come in with Fila, probably, or something. I don't know.
You had to have the right number of stripes on your Adidas thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
There was it 3 stripes good, 4 stripes bad? Or
there were so many fakes around.
Different thing, yeah.
But yeah, so a Midland Bank school bag, obviously with your PE kit in, and some plimsolls. And
brilliant.
Yeah, that's the way it was. Sometimes you'd have, when you were younger, a drawstring bag.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
With your name sewn on or something. It would be sewn initials.
Round at the bottom, wasn't it? It was round at the bottom.
Pull it tight and hang it on your peg with your name on the peg. And sometimes because you were young, they allowed you to draw a picture by your name on the tag above you. This is obviously when you're very young. We did it in colour. You probably coloured it in black and white when you were there. But it was a peg that was always at head height. So you'd twat it where sticks out, and you're like when you bent down to get something out of the foot locker or something. And and your mum would sew your name in or sew initials onto the bag. Whoever does those name tags must be driving around in a Ferrari.
Oh my God, yes, they were the iron-on ones. You could get the iron-on ones, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, or stitch-on. But either way, they made a fortune. Live in a big mansion, probably somewhere, and it's everything had to have your name in.
Pity the poor child who forgot their PE kit on PE day.
Yeah.
Because you still doing the PE.
Oh, yeah.
In your pants,
In your
mate.
pants. Or, if you're really lucky, go to Lost Property and find some to wear. You're
pants.
going through stinky shorts and T-shirts and, God, Alderson, hurry up in there. Like, there's the old rugby balls and God knows what in there, and socks and one shoe. Who's gone home with one shoe? And it's
the kid
hopping
with one leg, isn't it? Obviously, James is the one.
Yeah. So have you got a clip for us?
I've got a clip for you.
Great.
So we've done a lot of indoor stuff. I thought we'd do some outdoor stuff. This is a genuine school. I think it's Stinsford School in sort of Dorchester way.
Okay.
And this is like, there's no sound to this because it was shot on a. There were no cameras. There were no phone cameras to phone stuff. So it was a cine camera.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
that's
Okay.
the word.
Yep.
So, but just this is what we wore. This is what we did on the cross country run, which was out of all of the activities at school, the most hated thing. Where now, if these kids were running along the road outside, they would be wearing obviously safety tabards, be bright orange. But these, as they're going along, even though it's raining, they're stripping off.
Yeah.
There's the old teacher in his car checking
Sunbeam.
everybody's through. Was it a Talbot? Talbot Sunbeam?
Talbot Sunbeam, yeah.
And as I'm not casting aspersions on anyone, but as you can see, the children are getting slightly more and more naked as the run goes
That's what the
on.
teachers would have wanted.
So take your top off now. You don't want to overheat yourself.
Yeah.
So by the time they arrived back at school, that was one of the square minis, wasn't it?
Mini,
The
yeah.
Austin, was it the Austin mini, or there was like a look-alike
was a
mini
mini,
that wasn't a mini, but they did a weird square shape one, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's the early 80s, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just kids just running, just run.
Just run
Just
off
keep
you
running.
go. But you did have to have the checkpoints. I think I've mentioned previously. I was obviously, as I've said before, James, I'm not the sportiest person. The teachers just buggered off and gone by the time my checkpoint came around. But no
You're at
search
home.
party was sent. No. Nobody said, where's Jackson? Where is
He'll
he?
be all right.
He'd be fine.
He'll go back. He knows where we are. He'll learn. That was the phrase, wasn't it? When I flew sideways into the fucking high bar, I'm sure that's what the PE teacher went. You'll learn, Alderson. What, to jump higher? How can I do that? I keep falling into the side. Oh, it's just awful. Cross country was one of those things where you just got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I mean, can you imagine now? What are you doing today, sir? You're running for 5 miles. Why? Because you are running for 5 miles.
But with no preparation for this, like now, if you are, I for a while I did do a little bit of running, and you can get apps to get you up to your 5 kilometres, not 5 miles. But there at school, suddenly one day it's cross country day, and you've gone from never running more than 100 yards in your life, as they were proper freedom units back then. You could do 100 yards. Suddenly, like you say, today 5 miles.
And you'd be told the day before,
Yeah.
bring your cross-country kit in and go and run him. It's like, oh, great. No matter what the weather, but that's what we're doing. Go. I'm chewing a toffee. I'm really can't carry on your own.
The thing is, with these toffees, they are so addictive. These, if you missed the last episode, these are the toffees that come with their own little hammer.
Yeah.
Because they used to be brittle, but now they've made them chewy, and you don't actually need a hammer to get
Hammer's
into them.
totally superfluous.
But it's the very worst food that you can eat while you're trying to do a podcast.
Unprofessional, some may say. Some would say. Possibly unprofessional.
Some may say.
Yes.
Right, last time on the thing as well, Mystery Sound was a Walkman cassette going in.
Yes.
And it's, again, with these ones, these are the ones that you will, hopefully you'll kick yourself, metaphorically speaking, if you don't get this. But you might guess.
Okay.
Here comes
I haven't got one for a while.
This week's mystery sound.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
Is that my heart monitor after PE? Hold on, come back to us.
That's your heart monitor. That was definitely mine after PE.
Oh dear, I have got no bloody
idea.
Where are you getting
wow.
these from? Yes, it's becoming trickier and trickier, but it's always good to see what they are at the end. Now, can I show you this?
Yes.
Because obviously, when you had to get your PE kit or school uniform, usually there's one place that you would go to get it, and that is this wonderful, wonderful place. And here I have a Royal Wedding commemorative carrier bag from CNA for you. All right. There's something in there as well. But you'd always go and get your pants and your white vests and your shorts, and maybe even plimsolls from CNA. Royal Wedding there, because obviously everyone wanted a commemorative carrier bag.
Yeah.
Of the special wedding.
This is all you would want would be a carrier bag together. It's almost in mint condition as well, James.
I like to look after these things for 44 years.
29th of July, 1981.
Yeah, and I saw a silvery edge to it, bless them. And
Isn't it good
that
that nobody
bag
cashed in on the silver wedding? There was no
didn't do much,
took
did
for
they?
sale.
No, just the old carrier bag here and there. I think I got. Hang about. No, I don't think it's out here. I've got it somewhere down there. Oh, no, I haven't, but there's a plate. There was a plate. But yeah, inside, if you go inside the carrier bag,
in
there's another little item. I'm full of surprises, me. And yes, an original CNA leaflet. Back to school. Look at that. All these kids with their uniforms on. And I think on the very back, you can see great
kits.
sports.
Yeah, sportswear.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's official PE kits, but it's certainly casual sportswear by some racking. Have they got some racking behind them? Is that
They've
what
got
it is?
I think what it is, it's like the bars. It's the apparatus bars.
Climb up there.
But they couldn't actually find a real school, so they've mocked some up.
Yeah.
To look like it.
Wooden ladders, step ladders behind them.
Whatever. But they've got the old weights, they've got the football. The older girl looks quite happy in a proper matching tracksuit and everything.
I don't remember weights in PE though, do you?
No
weights.
No, medicine ball. That was
medicine ball.
Got,
and some bean bags.
No, there was never any weights like this, were there?
No, they weren't actually bothered about you getting fit. They just wanted to occupy you for an hour's lesson, just run about. The problem is, though, I always found that by the time you got changed and got out there, you didn't have much time, so you got to go back and get changed. You got to be across the other side of the school for geography.
Yeah.
It was always just go, get changed. Oh, God, quick, in, get the kit out. Oh, pack it away, go. You didn't always have much time for PE, especially, and it always seemed to be when you wanted to actually do it, like set up a five-a-side. But part of that was get changed, then set the goals up, go and get the balls from the other hall because Mr. Smith had them in the last lesson, come back, set the other goal up, who's going to be refs, blow the whistle, time up, go and get changed, it's maths. You didn't have any time to actually do the decent stuff. It was always just occupied by setting the bloody apparatus up for it. I was always upset with not being able to do five-a-side for long. And you'd get subbed off, like, oh, this is shit. But real life, of course, I get to play football all the
every time.
I'm always one.
Always
playing FIFA.
the chosen. Yeah.
My thumbs. Yes, top scorer again. Yes, that's it. Kids these days, you see a lot of them have got very strong thumbs.
Yes, they certainly have.
But
what was that submarine that sank? Was controlled by, that one that imploded.
Oh, not controlled by.
But
maybe.
Well, it was right up until the very last second.
And then it wasn't.
It was controlled, and then all of a sudden there was no connection
controlled anymore. Oh God, always such a positive spin on things, Andy. It's PE seemed to be the one thing that you would look forward to until you were in it. That was my memory. Most of the time, you're like, oh, good, we're not doing bloody French. And then you go and do PE. And
just as bad. Bring on the French.
But that's what they were training us for.
Yes.
Bring on the French. Attack. Go run down the beaches, over the horse, through the rope swing. Yeah, I used to love the assault course on crypto factor. That was always the thing as a kid I'd imagine myself doing in PE. Just like, yes, I could do crypto
They never had
factor.
assault courses at school, though, did they? If they'd have had the assault courses like that could have made PE fun. But PE was never destined to be fun.
No, I think they tried their best, didn't they, by having angry teachers. That always helped. It was always a bit demoralising. It was a female PE teacher. I always found that really embarrassing. You know, they'd rock up, not often in a boys' school, granted, but female PE teacher, and you couldn't do
Just in the
what they were
changing rooms
asking
when you get changed.
Yeah, that's what they seem to hang about by the showers. But no, they'd watch you, and you're like, oh, I can't actually do this, and you think, oh shit, I've really got to try and do this. But yeah, and the male teachers always seem to be the PE teachers always seem to be the ones who you probably thought probably couldn't do it either.
Yeah,
they're just big beer bellies.
Never demonstrating, were they?
No.
Just to do this, you would never see a PE teacher climb up the rope thinking about it, would you? Never, ever.
That's true. And most
or go over the horse.
No. They just stand there. Maybe they used to be able to, but not anymore.
No.
And they're very angry about it. And so you've got to do it and do it better than that. Always. It's never well done. It was always... And again, God, yeah, wasting the time.
As we said last time, it wasn't just the kids that were having fun; it was the grown-ups as well.
Yeah.
Morning TV, we did TV AM last time. Let's switch channels,
Okay,
and see where we end up this time around.
It's time to trim up and tone
Oh,
up
my
with the
goodness.
girl, as they say in the emerald leotard, our green goddess. This week, the green goddess has recruited a troop of willing volunteers. They're all members of regular Keep Fit classes, and with their help, Diana's going to show you a 5-day course of exercises that just everyone can follow.
Oh.
Good morning.
Hello.
Well, today and every day this week we're going to be in the studio, and I'm going to do a resume of some of the exercises I've already done, and I'm going to add a few more. And by the end of the week, we'll have got a little program of exercises that we could be doing for about half an hour each morning. And with me today, I have a group of ladies ranging from the ages of 16 to 69. And some of them have been keeping fit for a long, long time with the Keep Fit Association. So come on, ladies. Let's first of all, like the cat as he gets up in the morning, wake up and stretch up. Feet just a little bit apart and get loose around the knees. And then bend down, sweep the arms back, stretch up and really stretch up, feel up.
Now, what would have been nice again would have been a bit of music.
Maybe, yes. But they were all from the Fitness Association, Andy. That's the most important thing.
And they all had the same. They all wore the same lycra with the weird hooky bit that went under your.
You don't want
under
that riding
your
up
foot.
your calf muscle, do you?
No.
Everything had to be very tight and snug. There's a whole selection of camel toes there. I wasn't looking at the 69-year-old lady, but or the 16-year-old, I have to say. but that lycra was the thing.
Yeah.
You could get the tightest bit of shiny lycra. You were the future. It was the
Thing is, though, James, there was nobody who shouldn't be wearing lycra.
No.
In that. Whereas now, if you would take a random sample
Yeah.
of people aged from 16 to 69,
Yeah.
I would say 3/4 of them should not be. As should we not?
I'm not wearing lycra.
I'm never wearing
Not that's
lycra.
visible.
I had to do I had to do a cycle ride
No,
once,
I
charity
don't-
cycle
I don't
ride,
believe it.
and they made us.
Oh.
They made us. I'd have lycra cycling shorts. James.
Did it make you more aerodynamic?
Sadly, none of those photos have seemed to surface. I think it was must have been pre
Watershed.
pre-social media days. I think the internet had just been invented, but thank God there's no pictures of me.
I wonder if they held
in
off the
lycra.
internet until after that event.
I knew it was coming. They didn't want to break it before it started.
Were you sponsored for the bike ride or for wearing lycra? What was it? How, God forbid, the person behind you. Like, let's get this
God,
race over
please.
with. I always love a country drive out on a Sunday, and I think what I've come out for is a lovely country ride watching some man's sweaty arse for the next 4 miles because I can't get past him because he's cycling on this razor blade saddle. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to look at this anymore. And usually a whole row of 20 lonely men cycling.
But not a row, James, because they like to cycle.
Oh, they're allowed to.
They like to cycle wide.
That's legal. They're allowed to.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, it's safer.
They're quick to tell you that when you call them a bunch of fucking idiots. We're allowed to. Oh, God almighty.
You're not allowed to mow them down, though, are
No, you're not apparently. No, they told me that the second time. Yeah, I mean, I love was that Selena Scott?
Yes.
Bloody brilliant. I mean, she's
Weren't
Princess
they
Diana for BBC One,
they
wasn't
all
she?
posh as
Oh,
well?
here we are. Hello. And she's going to do some exercises that we can all do. And we can't. I couldn't bend over like that. She nearly touched her toes.
Yeah.
Bloody freak. Swinging the arms about. Oh, I mean, that was the problem. Warming up seemed to be a big part of PE. It seemed to do that swinging of the hips.
Yeah,
PE teacher loved seeing you all do that. Give your hips a swing them about. Come on this way and then the other way. Bend over. Yeah. Okay, not do that again, sir. And it's just a lot of that. But you look back now, most of it was bollocks. They say you shouldn't do half the warm-ups that we used to do. They used to get you to lean your head right back and roll it round all the way round, keep winging it round, thinking, no, don't do that. You end up with Alzheimer's or something. I don't know what they're going to do, but half the things have been poo-pooed as utter bollocks.
Oh, things change all the time, don't they? But what about food? Does food change?
No.
Let's have a look and see what's in the mystery lunchbox.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Now these were handy. Oh no, not that one.
Not that one.
Handy snacks for mid PE lesson. So help yourself. It's not, of course. It's a Saturday morning treat again, and a classic, really.
Oh my god! Yes.
My wife raves about these. I don't mind them.
I like them
with a glass of milk.
Yeah, to dip in. Did you bring any milk, James?
No.
The milk. The milk that these need to be dipped into
is malted.
Is milk that's been comes in one of those mini milk bottles. Has been sitting by the radiators in school all morning.
Yes.
To get where it had been cold outside.
Creamy top.
Get the creamy top on there.
A little bit of Robin left in it.
This one's broken. There you go.
Malted milks, by the way, if you are just listening. With a little, I always used to love, because they did similar, they did different pictures on them sometimes, but always used to love looking at the cow on the malted milk biscuit.
Well, that's where the milk comes from, James.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
No, fair enough. I remember it being as crunchy as that. Another one. Oh, no, the malt's coming through, though.
Oh, it's very, very, very the same as they always were.
You're always one with the words, Andy, aren't you? Very the same. You should go on radio, mate. You've got all the lingo. I'm having another one. Do you want another one?
No, I'm not. I'm going to stay. I know where to quit, James.
No. Yes. Malted milks. They taste very, very similar, but I don't remember them being as crunchy. Maybe because they're always soaked in milk.
That'll do it.
You get home and you crack open a packet of them, and before you know where you are, they're gone. And but you have got the 18 to watch, so it's not all bad.
Shall we reveal the mystery sound?
What could it be?
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
What I liked was that the graphic splash screen for the snake game, even though it was only LCD, looked great, and it had like a proper snake and everything on it.
Yeah.
When you actually played the game, there was no snake.
Having another one there.
No snake.
That can't be 80s, can it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really? Surely 90s.
Oh,
Early,
maybe I've
must
got
be
it
early
wrong.
90s.
Maybe I've got it
Oh,
wrong.
it's still great. It's a lovely bit of nostalgia, but I think that I reckon that we didn't get a Nokia 3210 till 90.
You know what? Right now, you've made me. Now you've made me question myself.
You've ruined this whole podcast series.
Somebody's going to come in with the exact date that came out. But it's weird though, because that came from an 80s compilation.
Yeah. I think that's funny actually, because so many people say stuff and you go, no. Oh, I had the old PlayStation. Not in the 80s, didn't?
No.
1991, I think. I had a Nokia 3210, or I had a Mark II Escort, blah blah blah, and you go, well, that was 1990. You know, it's always this blurring of our memories. You have made me
question myself now.
Well, I'm glad, because that's what I'm here for. Make people question themselves.
Your skill set. So anyway, that was the mystery sound. It was the Nokia, but I have a feeling that you could be right, James.
I'm allowed not to get that right.
But I'm sure the comments are going to be full of when it was correct.
I remember having them, and they lasted forever, and the battery lasted forever.
Oh, for weeks.
Yeah,
For weeks.
Oh, you didn't have to charge it. I had this. I had what they called the Sony Mars bar phone, which is a chunky black one, and the speaker earpiece slid up to answer it. And that came out about 1991, and I took it to school because I had a Beetle that was unreliable, or they thought it was going to be. So I just take it into school and back. Never used it, obviously, and maybe 92, and never plugged it in. I can't remember charging it because if you don't use it, the battery wasn't used up.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you would never use them normally because calls were like £2 a second to make. They were for emergency
and turn it on when you wanted to use it because no bugger's going to phone you because only 7 people in the country got a mobile phone. So you have it for using. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? But these days, if you haven't got your phone on you, you're like, oh no,
where's my phone? Yeah,
what am I going to do? You're like that cat on the sofa who's just researching. It's crazy, but yeah, good. Well, like nice clip to see.
But even though if it was 90s,
you're wrong.
Rather than 80s,
I think it's nice to get it wrong every now and then.
I think it was the last day of 1989. I think it was December the 31st, 1989.
It just shows we're fallible. We're not perfect, Andy.
Definitely,
we're not perfect.
Definitely
we're close. We're not perfect.
And on that slightly disappointing note, thanks for watching this time. Don't forget tickets for the Summer Sizzler.
Bring back the 90s.
Summer Sizzler special available now at Spring Arts Centre website.
It's only £13 a ticket.
That's nothing.
But if you loved the 80s and summertime as a kid, then this is going to be all about it. Live recording of a couple of episodes in the evening. So go to the Spring Arts Centre website and grab your tickets.
And we'll see you there.
Yeah, see you there.
See you next Tuesday as well for another episode of Bring Back the 90s.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app. And don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.